On January 2nd, 2026, I posted my Five Nights at Freddy's 1 character ranking. And it performed really well, thank you, by the way. And so, obviously, a sequel had to be put in production. If I were to say that I wasn't expecting this one to win the March poll, I'd be lying. I started writing this script and the Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 before it came out video at the same time. I was very confident. Just like last time, characters will be ranked on fear factor, amusement, and personal bias. The characters ranked in this installment are Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Mangle, BB, JJ, Paper Pals, Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, Withered Foxy, Withered Golden Freddy, The Puppet, Endo 02, Toy Cupcake, Shadow Freddy, ARCS, or RWQ, SFASCX, whatever, and Phone Guy. 20 spots, 20 characters, and without anything else to do, let's get into the video with number 20. Also, I got a brand new microphone, so I'm in 4K now.
Who are we? We are the Paper Pals, and we're here to tell you that we think you're going down.
The mystery Paper Pal is the worst one for Fnaf 2, and there's nobody who can prove me otherwise. There's not much to say. It doesn't do anything, it's not scary, etc. Moving on. JJ is just BB, except she doesn't do anything. We don't even know what her body looks like. Major disappointment. I probably could have phrased that better.
He told me you killed him. No. I am your
Paper Pals.
Bonnie Paper Pal. It's just the mystery Paper Pal, but it looks like OG Bonnie. It's not scary. Slightly more interesting, but that's it.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am
Paper Pals.
The Freddy Paper Pal is just the two other Paper Pals so far, except it looks like the main man himself. It's not scary, it's the most interesting of the three because it's Freddy, and that's it.
I don't really care if he's Freddy. I'm just trying to get my hands on his sweet, succulent AA batteries.
The average viewer would have assumed that Balloon Boy was last place. Then, after they learned that he wasn't, they all lost a respective $20 because they forgot about the Paper Pals and JJ. With that being said, Balloon Boy is not only not scary, but he's not interesting enough. But he's the last F tier. He's more of an annoyance than an actual character. He takes those darn batteries and basically kills you vicariously from Foxy. Overall, a lame character. He gets somewhat better in other games, but we're gonna get to that when we get to those.
The average male height of a human being is 5 foot 6 inches tall, 1.67 meters. The average female is 5'2", or 1.57 meters. Our crewmates in a
Toy Bonnie is the only character in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 to be not scary and an annoyance. Obviously, there's Balloon Boy, but he doesn't try to be scary. He knows he's an annoying character. Anyways, Toy Bonnie is supposed to be scary and unsettling, but he fails. I think it's the face or the eyes or whatever. I think it's supposed to be like the Uncanny Valley look with the big eyes and the small pupils, but he doesn't look scary. He looks high as hell. But he's not last, because he's funny looking. Plus, he gave us 5 AM at Freddy's, the prequel, you know. Anyways, moving on.
If I get jump scared, you get jump scared.
Toy Freddy is up, and he's only slightly scarier than Bonnie. I think that Toy Freddy is how you would do the unsettling eyes. And what I mean by that is, unlike the other characters, Toy Freddy doesn't gain white pupils when he's aggressive. His eyes stay pitch black. Despite this, he's this low because I can't take him seriously enough. He's spooky at best, but his build stops him from being scary. Next. The Toy Cupcake is our last D tier character, which, yeah, it's weird that I put it on the list, but since we had the original cupcake in the first video, I didn't want to get any comments saying I forgot the toy one. Anyways, the cupcake in this game is way more advertiser friendly, which is more visually appealing. The googly eyes are cute, the overall smoother design is nice, but it doesn't do anything. In fact, Chica ditches it the moment she can, so this is the highest it can physically go. But now that all the lower characters are done, we can get into more descriptive characters, and better ones too.
Spy, I ain't gonna
Seduce me!
Right, okay. Okay. Hey there, good looking. I got a bucket of chicken.
From the cupcake to the beholder, Toy Chica has the most scary aggressive design of the toys. Her eyes black and her pupils are glowing. The beak being gone is also a really good detail. The next pro I have is that you probably have died to Chica a decent amount of times, because she doesn't appear in your vent when she's at the office, which, despite me saying that as a pro, it's also one of her biggest flaws. Because of this, you don't really see her much aside from the cameras in the main hall from time to time on the earlier nights, and it's a shame too. Ignoring the obvious things in her design, she has a relatively decent one. Also, Megan Fox voicing her in the movie definitely made the most sense ever. Anyways, Toy Chica is definitely a middle-of-the-road character, so let's move on.
Pretty sure that's Freddy.
Oh, god damn it! You're Freddy!
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Oh boy, yeah, this one stings. Withered Freddy had the potential to be one of, if not the scariest character, but he falls flat. Design-wise, he's the least scary Withered, and arguably not a Withered animatronic. His lazy eye should have been incorporated more. Despite how a character like Ned Bear's lazy eye doesn't work, Withered Freddy definitely works. Because he's broken and re-scrapped or whatever. And if you wouldn't want to use his lazy eye, then just keep him with one black eye. He looks 100% scarier in this one camera frame than he does in any other media for him. But anyways, actual pros for him, the design is nice, his jump scare is decent, which, honestly, Scott was just trying to make everyone seem like they did the bite of every 87. Everyone got a bite, but anyways. So, yeah, he's quite literally the middle point of characters, and even though him and Chica are about the same level, it gets better and better from here, so.
Are you trying to let Markiplier in here? He's been trying to take Foxy's Jake Paul poster since last week.
Okay, so Phone Guy's up next. It's basically what I said in the FNAF 1 ranking. Scott's voice acting is phenomenal, etc, etc. The only difference between this one and that one is that I don't think Phone Guy is nearly as memorable as he was in FNAF 1. There's not many lines in this one that people would quote. In fact, I don't think there is any. Except for maybe the lockdown at the end, but I don't know, who cares. It's a shame too, because I can easily make jokes about the toys, whether it's in the puppet, so the comedic letdown is harsh, but it's definitely better in this than FNAF 3, so yeah. Okay. RWQFSFASXC is up, and honestly, it's weird that they're this high. The design is not creative at all. It's a black toy Bonnie with white eyes and teeth, and that's it. That's actually all. But I'd say RWQFSFASXC is how you do a Golden Freddy character. He's not explained much, and he's not in other projects, only returning for UCN and AR. And even though I just said that it's a positive, I feel like RWQFSFASXC has been overused. But that's just a thing on the character itself. It's not a FNAF 2 thing. With that being said, he does absolutely nothing in game. He appears, crashing your game, and doing nothing. But because of the overall more scary effect of the crashing a game character, it's pretty decent because of it. Also, it's the last B tier character, so we can talk about the actual ones that I'm interested in.
Why do you want to go to Mexico?
I just love Latinas, Sonic.
Shadow Freddy is next, and the only reason Shadow Freddy is higher than RWQFSFASXC is because Shadow Freddy is more mysterious than him. not being in any other project so far. He's slightly scarier because of this. Shadow Freddy also crashes your game, which is good, and I always assumed that he was this game's Golden Freddy. I don't think there was a time where I preferred RWQFSFASXC. Dude, that name sucks. Okay. Shadow Freddy is just better in tons of ways. Mostly how weird, ominous, and overall scary he is. There's probably gonna be a counter of how many times I've said Shadow Bonnie's names wrong.
And I promise. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am.
Endo 02 is the best Easter egg character. The reason it's the highest is because he actually moves around. Being found when the puppet leaves, you can find him in the prize counter or the left vent. Looking at his design, you can see that he's unsettling. The ribcage, the jaws, the overall lifeless stature. An interesting detail is that on most of the animatronics, you can see the jaws of Endo 02. These characters include Toy Chica, Mangle, Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, and Withered Foxy. Endo 02 is just overall better than the other secret characters and better than the original Endo. Also, he's just cooler than most of the characters we've talked about so far. He has that aura about him, I'm not sure. Okay. This might sound bad on paper, but the jump of Golden Freddy is phenomenal. It's literally the definition of a comeback season. Golden Freddy gets so much more interesting in this game than he did in his first. First off, his design isn't just a golden recolor of Withered Freddy, it's actually unique. He doesn't crash your game, but that's because he's not an Easter egg. And me, personally, I like when he's not an Easter egg. He's so much better when he's actually supposed to be a character in the game. Golden Freddy is also much scarier than he was in the first game, occasionally appearing as an iconic head in your hallway. If you know the second game, then you know that Golden Freddy is also very important in minigames. Very important, actually. He has the most confusing minigame, that being Save Them, and that's why he's much more interesting. He isn't explained, and he doesn't have to be. But with that being said, he's not scary in his whole body form. If he was just the head, he'd be so much scarier, but since he's not, number 6 is where he stays. Still higher than what he was in the original, though, so I guess that's a pro. Okay, so the puppet being 5th place might also sound bad on paper, but please note that this is the highest A tier character. I don't really need to tell you why the puppet is this high, but I'm contractually obligated to, so the puppet has the most interesting mechanic, that being the music box, but it's way too easy to just ignore the puppet and the music box because it's easily the least stressful part of Fnaf 2. You just hold it down, it's not that difficult. Anyways, back to the pros. The puppet's horrifying. The dangly limbs and the slow music that gets louder and louder as she approaches is scary as hell. The glimpses of her face that you catch on certain cameras is also really spooky. But I think the problems that I have to the puppet all come down to the fact that you don't see her much in game. Because the mechanic she has is easy as hell to avoid, and it's very boring, since you're just looking at a camera for most of FNAF 2 and just holding down your mouse button. But even with pure fear and her important lore that was dropped in this game, such as her being murdered outside of a Freddy Fazbear's location or whatever, it's not amazing. Those two reasons are the only reasons why she's really this high, but yeah, that's it.
Nothing beats a gypsy holiday, and right now you can save 50 pounds per person. That's 200 pounds off for a family of 4.
The T-posing menace herself, Withered Chica, is the first S tier. Withered Chica is, I fear, the most underrated Withered of the 5. Withered Chica's horrifying. The blank stare, the unhinged jaw, everything about her is just unsettling. Realistically, if Chica was the first of the Withereds to move in-game, Players, and most likely more fans, would be able to realize and fully appreciate the horror behind Wither Chica. With that being said, she barely missed the final 3 because of the jump scare. It's not scary at all. Running it play by play, she jumps up from the bottom of the screen and opens her mouth very slightly. This isn't scary, this is comedic, but I guess in a way that suits her. Also, Wither Chica is the Wither that is reused the most, appearing in Five Nights at Freddy's Ultimate Customite and twice in Help Wanted, Withered mode, and the Trick or Treat game mode. Actually, no, I guess Wither Bonnie also has the same amount. We're not talking about him. Anyways. In conclusion, Wither Chica is the most unsettling character, but not overall scary. The next 3 would be scarier to legitimately see, and the next 3 are just better characters, in my opinion.
Look elsewhere.
Withered Foxy, the star of everyone's favorite Five Nights at Freddy's fan animation, starts our top 3, and it's honestly not hard to see why. Speaking of that animation, by the way, did you know that Shiloh and Bros just copied the entire thing for like 3 minutes? If I wanted to watch that reference, I would watch the original animation, Shiloh and Bros. Thank you very much. Or was I? Oh yeah, Withered Foxy's design is amazing. It's very unsettling, and he genuinely looks like something that would be used for parts. The appearance, the appeal, and of course, the iconic jump scare. This character is amazing. Is there any more to be said? Also, he wasn't in Fnaf Help Wanted until the Withered update. He was replaced by Fnaf 1 Foxy until then. Steel will cover up Incident 2019, spread the word!
Yes! 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 Yes!
Coming up with a first place and a second place were very, very difficult, but I ended up going with second place being the Mangle. Where do I start? Mangle's design is immaculate. The scar suiting with the rest being pure endoskeleton is wonderfully executed. The second head is the cherry on top of this gender-fluid sundae. Story-wise, Mangle is possibly the biggest mystery, possibly being behind the infamous Bite Over 87, although I bet Epstein probably thought it was Toy Chica. All with being in the FNAF 4 minimap and being in the series of FNAF 3 minigames, it's clear that Scott probably had bigger plans for them, but in the end, they weren't used as much as Sister Location Onward, which is a shame because other than UCN, Help Wanted, and AR, they vanished, which sounds like a lot, but everyone was in UCN and Help Wanted, and nobody cared for FNAF AR. Personally, Mangle is the best designed character, but there's only one reason it lacked on first place, and that is because first place is the one, the only. Like I just said, picking the first and second place were very difficult, but number 1 is the toilet himself, Withered Bonnie. Withered Bonnie is amazing. His design is on par with Mangle's design. The half face, the lack of an arm, the red glowing eyes are excellent. Story-wise, there's the obvious fact that he had most things taken from him in Toy Bonnie. Aside from that, he was one of the only Withereds that were invited to UCN, the other 2 being Chica and Golden Freddy. Also, side note, all the Withereds are underused as hell in the second movie. I'll talk about that in another video maybe when I talk about those 2 movies, but who cares? Back to this video. He's the character I was most hype about when I saw the teaser. That's right, I saw the teasers. I'm not a new gen. Where was I? Oh yeah. I want to say though that once again I was very, very on the fence on putting either Mangle or Withered Bonnie in first place. The only reason I put Bonnie first is because I just personally like the design more than I do Mangle. Also, the Bonnie song is a banger. I hate everyone who says that it's a bad song. If you hate it, I hate you. We ops now. Whew. Wow, that was every FNAF 2 character ranked. I hoped you enjoyed. I was glad to see you again, and maybe for my next long-term video in April, we can have something on the same par as this. Also, if you made it this far, you should go vote on my community polls and subscribe, not to miss the next video, of course. One more thing, though. Tell me if you like the audio quality on this microphone. I just got it, and honestly, I'm happy because I'm hearing the stuff while I'm editing it, and it's way better than the first 4 videos I made this year. And yeah, that's all. I just wanted to wish you nope, no holidays are coming up actually. I'm recording this after St. Patrick's Day. Happy March! Yup, March Madness, that's what it is.
Get freaky on a Friday night yet.